understand the evolution of PSTN network, get familiar with network architecture, fixed and wireless, including access, aggregation, core. Explain the OSI layer stack, including data networking basics, network topologies, OSI layers, TCP or IP, understand frequency and spectrum concepts. Let us start with the first topic, that is PSTN network evolution. PSTN, abbreviated as Public Switch Telephone Network, also known as the plain old telephone system, or POTS, is basically the interconnected telephone system over which telephone calls are made via copper wires. Based on the principles of circuit switching, when a call is made, a particular dedicated circuit activates, which eventually deactivates when the call ends. Telephone calls pass on analog signals across copper wires. Depending on geographical region, PSTN nodes are sometimes referred to by different names. The three node types we discuss here include end officer or EO. It is called as a local exchange. The end office provides network access for the subscriber. It is located at the bottom of the network hierarchy. Tandem, which connects EOs together, provide an aggregation point for traffic between them. In some cases, the tandem node provides the EO access to the next hierarchical level of the network. And transit, which provides an interface to another hierarchical network level. Transit switches are generally used to aggregate traffic that is carried across long geographical distances. PSTN was evolved when Sir Alexander Graham Bell invented the first telephone in 1876. In 1876, the world's first telephone exchange was established at New Haven in Connecticut, USA. In 1935, crossbar switches were introduced. Intersecting bars in the crossbar switch moved to make contact in order to complete the circuit. Also, markers were used to control exchanges. It took only 1/10 of a second to complete a call. In 1950, time division multiplexing, or TDM, was introduced. TDM is a communication process that transmits two or more streaming digital signals over a common channel. In this example, interleaved inputs A, B, C, and D are sent to the multiplexer, and it outputs them on one data stream, on physical trunk line. D multiplexer does exactly opposite of this. This was followed by the touch-tone pad phones in 1960. The invention of the keypad is attributed to John E. Carlin, an industrial psychologist at Bell Labs. Then stored program control switching was introduced in 1968. It is an electronic switch which is upgradable to new versions. In this, call setup is controlled by programmed software, and calls are completed within nanoseconds. From early 70s, call routing from source to destination was predominantly controlled by digital switches. Today, apart from voice communications, data communications are also provided via PSTN. Here is a graph showing the growth of PSTN from 1950. It started with manual operation, then came step by step. Crossbar switch was introduced in early 50s. Then came analog switching in mid-60s. In mid-70s, digital switching evolved. Broadband was introduced in early 90s. Broadband has improved over a period of time and is widely used these days. Let's explore PSTN for broadband connections. These days, PSTN is used for broadband connections. You can see that this broadband connection has been built with the help of PSTN. Here, internet line from service provider gets connected to modem and then further to router. Router then splits voice and broadband data lines to connect to respective units like analog terminal adapter or ATA, which further gets connected to fixed line base station terminal and to personal computer or PC for internet.